All right. Good Tuesday practice. All right. A little rain, a little adversity. That was good. Thought we started off a little slow, but we finished really strong, which was good to see. I think our leaders stepped up in a positive way. It's always that Tuesday after the first game, your body's a little sore and all that, but I thought our guys came out here and practiced pretty well. So excited, obviously, about the game on Saturday. Huge game for us and everybody involved. So our guys will be excited and be ready to go. Question?
And obviously, big point, like you were just saying, UTSA. So the loss last year, does that loss still linger? Do you still feel that going into this one, or is you just trying to one opponent at a time, one game at a time type?
Yeah. I think probably just one game at a time, and obviously we know it's a big game. But last year. You got so many new faces and so many new people that I'm not sure some guys even understand the magnitude of it until they'll get out there on Saturday and they'll feel it. One of those type deals. I was probably the same way last year. Walking out to the field, you can just feel it when you play guys like that. So, I think it's probably just makes game time deal.
There's so much going into you going against Jeff Traylor. Used to be your high school coach.
Yeah.
And now it feels it's a little different than it was last year because you're both going into the season as front runners, if you will, in their respective conferences. Does that add a little different caveat to this game at all?
Everyone, obviously the relationship between me and Coach Traylor, sometimes I call him Jeff, most time I call him Coach Traylor. But yeah, it's really solid and somebody that I lean on in a lot of areas. Just an unbelievable coach, unbelievable father, unbelievable husband, a real role model for myself and young coaches everywhere. So I don't think maybe just because people think we're good this year, that's about the only difference. One of those type deals. But we know they're good. They're the big dog. We got to knock them off.
Is this a Jeff week or a Coach Traylor week?
Probably Coach Traylor. Yeah, probably Coach Traylor.
You don't want to rub them the wrong way or show any disrespect.
Don't want to do that.
What do you think about the evolution of this rivalry in general? Like Texas State and UTSA have known each other for for generations, but the football rivalry is still kind of new. How would you assess how that has developed just since you've been here?
Yeah, I think it's been really cool, and I think we need to step up and do our part and make this game what it needs to be. We need to get one in the win column.
Coach, what was your thoughts about being introduced to the rivalry last year? It was a packed Alamo Dome, big environment. There's a lot of anticipation for this game this week. Expect another large crowd this time in your house. But how did you feel about your introduction to it last year?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Like I said, you could feel the energy, and there was a lot of Bobcat fans there, and that was really good to see last year. I remember looking up, and because you never know, it was my first time experiencing that, and really my first time besides like a football game in the Dome, maybe besides when I was real little, watching South Lake Carroll play somebody in the state championship game. But it was a real kind of what you thought it would be. So I'm hoping that Saturday we return the favor and the energy and the atmosphere and just that hostile environment is returned.
Last year you coached against Frank Harris, and that was your first and only time coaching against him, but a lot of people following the rivalry got to know him quite a bit. He'd been to UTSA for a while. Your quarterback this time around, Owen McCown. What is your assessment of what he brings to the table as opposed to what Frank Harris did before?
Yeah, obviously I don't think you can replace Frank Harris. What he meant to that program and everything like that, and just a great human, great player. But I think they found their guy for sure. Owen, obviously known him and his family for a while, and he's a tremendous player, a great person, great leader. He was voted one of their single-digit guys, and you can tell. Obviously, he was honorable mention, player of the week in that conference, and he went out there and performed really well. And he's really athletic. He can throw the ball from the outside the pocket. He can extend. He can throw from inside the pocket, and he manages the offense well. He makes good decisions. He's a coach's kid, so he's a big time player, and it'll be quite the challenge for us.
What about the play of your quarterback, Jordan McLeod? You saw his debut performance under your offense this past week, and up against a really good UTSA defense this week. How do you feel about Jordan right now?
Yeah, he's going to play really well for us to win. I thought he played well on Saturday. I do. I think he came out there and started really fast and faced some adversity, obviously, and that was good to see him come back and respond and really lead us to a victory. So I was really excited about that, he's a leader, a true pro. He comes out there to practice every day, meetings every day. This is not his first rodeo. That's always a good feeling to have. He's played in a lot of big games before, so that's always something you feel good about as a head coach.
Coach, now that you had a chance to look over the game film against Lamar, just what are some things you thought this team really needed to work on?
I think offensively we had no penalties and we executed pretty well, and I would like to see us maybe close that game out a little bit better on offense and just maybe make the easy plays a little bit easier at times, but you expect that in the first game. I think defensively we came out on fire and played really well, and then obviously just jumping off sides. You can't jump off sides, so we expect a lot of hard counts this week, and we got to get better and learn from it. But it was good. I think it's good to face some adversity and play a full game. Everyone talks about the negatives from the Saturday, but as a head coach, obviously we won the game, so that's the most important thing. But there's so many learning moments that came from Saturday that's really going to help us throughout the season.
Do you think the players kind of respond, like, obviously they won the game, but also they wanted to kind of have a better performance in the win. Do you feel like the players kind of responded during this practice this week?
Yeah, I think it's still a process. I think Saturday they were disappointed when we got in here and obviously talked about it on Sunday, and then they had their day off to really focus on their academics yesterday, and then today that started off a little slow, but then we finished really strong, which is good to see.
Looking at this UTSA offense and then the defense, what do you expect the Roadrunners to kind of throw at y'all?
We'll see. One thing about those guys, they very similar to us. They're going to do what they do, and they're not trying to. Everyone's going to have wrinkles and scheme, problems and all that, but they're going to get good at what they do, and they're really good at what they do. They have really good defensive linemen, a bunch of single digits right there in the middle. Got really good linebackers, safeties, corners. I mean, they probably got 4 or 5 draft picks on defense alone. And then talking about offense, I mean, they got a stable of running backs. Got receivers all over the place, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5. Tight ends, single digits, been there for like 10 years. He's an unbelievable player. Just a leader, just very savvy. And obviously, you don't want a quarterback that his dad's a NFL seasoned vet, 15 years. He's been around the game for a long time. He'll be very, very excited and ready to go for this one, I promise.
UTSA, they had a somewhat of a similar game to you guys on Saturday against Kinne State, where they built up a lead, kind of let them get back into it. But what do you think went into that for them, for y'all? Was everybody just kind of thinking about this UTSA game coming up, or what happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Kennesaw is a good team. I know that, and very similar to Lamar. I think they're a good team, and so I don't know. I can't put my finger on exactly what it was, but I'm sure it probably had something to do with it.
When a mentor is a rival, how does that change that relationship?
Doesn't really change things. I don't think. Obviously, just on Saturday when when we kick it off, just we're playing against each other. Just another coach out there, and as soon as we get done, we'll go back to normal.
I had a Greg Luco question for you. That was similar to it. If you still want to hear it.
Oh yeah, come on, Greg. I'm kind of disappointed Greg's in there.
No, I'm here to stay. You got my finger with the explosives too. So, what is the feeling like to know that in a matchup against Jeff Traylor, who you described as a mentor, that a lot of people now view you and Tech State as the favorite? What changes with that?
Yeah, I think probably just because we're at home, you know, I would say, I don't know necessarily know the spread, but if we are a favorite, then it's probably just because we're at home, you know. One of those type deals. Obviously, they're really good, and we got to knock them off. You know, I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, people can talk about our guys and this and that and all that, but they're still the guys we got to knock off. They're the team, so we got to go prove that we belong with them.
You know, it was a really big crowd last year. I think it was near the 60,000 at the Alamo Dome. Should be another big crowd here. Do you think it'll reverse that effect from last year, where it is that giant crowd? It is a mixed crowd, but it's going to be a big crowd on your side more so inside of it.
Yeah, I hope so. There was a lot of Bobcats there last year, though. A lot of maroon in that dome, so that was good to see. But yeah, I'm hoping so because we're going to need it. Obviously, they do have some new guys that are playing, and just like we do. But you know, I remember my first big road test as a starting quarterback. It's always just a little different playing on the road than at home. So hopefully we can, you know, get those guys going a little bit and make them communicate, and when it's loud, and give them some adversity.
Coach, in your experience between being a player, an assistant coach, a head coach in these rivalry games, what do they come down to?
Usually turnovers. Probably going to be back and forth for a while, and got to go out there and find a way to win. It's usually going to come down to that, so we'll see.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.